Now there are plans for 4G to be replaced by, you guessed it, 5G.
5G is on pace to improve many aspects of current generation mobile networks.
Some of the seconds, 5G is finally becoming a reality.
If you're into all things tech and digital, you've probably heard all about 5G. It's the latest technology in the field of mobile data, and analysts are marveling at the implications of having this technology up and running within the next few years. It has been in the works for nearly a decade, but it seems that within the next few years to come, 5G will finally turn into a reality. But wait, what exactly is 5G? And how big of an impact is it going to make on society? That's what we're going to talk about on today's video. This is Fraud Explained. To enjoy more videos, subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, or else I'll be looking into you too. 5G stands for 5th generation wireless, and it is an upgrade from the 4G technology that we use today. Developers are even saying that 5G is said to be 100 times faster and more efficient than 4G. 5G carriers have already begun sending out technology to certain cities over the past few years, and mobile 5G has already been operational in some parts of the United States. However, it is expected to have a much bigger rollout within the next few years. If you're an owner of a smartphone, chances are you've already used your mobile data feature. With this feature, you can browse through the internet and download all sorts of things: pictures, songs, movies, books, and so much more of the material that you can access through your phone. These are all possible thanks to wireless networking technology, which allows you to process data and connect to the internet without needing wires or components to speed up the process. So what exactly is 5G? Well, it's next generation wireless network technology, and analysts are saying that it will basically change life as we know it. See, what we have now is 4G technology. 5G is a newer and more improved version of this type of technology. Essentially, 5G will connect practically everyone and everything together: people, machines, and devices. If you have 5G, you would be able to connect to everyone and everything else that has 5G. Now I'm going to talk about the implications this technology would have on society. They are massive. But first, I'm going to go deeper on what 5G is. Keep watching to see how much potential this thing has to change the world. A lot of companies all over the world are racing to establish their own 5G networks and make sure that theirs is the fastest or the largest. Countries are scrambling to be able to provide nationwide 5G technology. This is because the benefits of this new technology are expected to be great. Essentially, 5G is all about speed. It can process information at a very high speed. However, that's not all. 5G would be able to provide a bigger bandwidth, which means more devices can connect to the system than the previous networks had. Gone will be the days of shaky signal and bad connection. Even if a lot of people are using it, your service would be running smoothly, and with minimal to no hiccups. Heck, you would even be able to hook up your smart toothbrush to it. 5G would also be able to reduce latency, or the time needed for a device to make a request to a server and get the server's response. 5G is designed to be smarter, faster, more efficient, and just generally better than 4G. The new technology would be able to provide a seamless exchange of information in as much time as it takes for you to blink. Amazing, right? So how does 5G work? Well, the signals for 5G run over new radio frequencies. They need to be placed just right to work, because they need to be able to reach devices within homes and buildings. For 5G to be able to work efficiently and smoothly, carriers would need to build and install small cell sites on multiple fixtures throughout a city where 5G would be operational. These could be up the side of buildings, on light fixtures, electrical posts, and the like. Ideally, these cell sites have to be relatively close to each other. This is so they could operate at such a high speed and would be available to everyone that needs to use 5G. So what does 5G mean for the average consumer?
Could pay for an increased slice of the network, boosting its internet capacity.
Well, apart from being able to experience a faster processing system for our mobile devices, average consumers like you and me may not be able to really feel the implications of this new technology. However, in the grander scheme of things, 5G has the power to change the world. Intrigued? Keep watching to see just what 5G can do. Economically, 5G will be able to drive global economic growth, because it will be able to perform way better than our current system. it would be able to create a whopping $13.2 trillion of global economic output. That means that once 5G is fully operational across the globe, the worth of the output of goods and services would skyrocket. 5G would also be able to create over 22 million new jobs and foster good GDP growth. Analysts are expecting to see the full effects of 5G within the next 2 decades. Because 5G's speed and capacity are far greater than the technologies we've been used to, it would also exceed the capabilities of the devices that are hooked up on it. This means that devices would need to step up in order to be able to keep up with 5G. Ever downloaded or streamed a movie online? With 5G, you would be able to cut your waiting time by a mile and get to view it instantly. Now, again, average consumers like you and me may not be able to really grasp the full effect of 5G in our daily lives, but with 5G, things you used to need hours to process could be accomplished in mere minutes or even seconds. While we may not really see much of a difference when we compare to our previous technologies, networks really need to be able to make the upgrade in order for them to be able to process and go through massive amounts of data. The way that 5G would be able to impact consumers is no longer the only consideration. As I mentioned earlier, it will have a massive impact on the economy. We just need to wait and see. 5G will truly be able to enrich consumers' experience on their devices. It will allow for a much higher definition on gadgets like televisions and laptops, and will allow for faster processing for mobile devices. However, analysts say its biggest impact would be in the commercial world. Now sit tight, I'm going to tell you about some of the industries with the highest potential of benefiting off of 5G technology. First off, we have healthcare. With 5G, medical professionals will be able to diagnose their patients' ailments and give them general checkups without needing an in-person meeting. They would also be able to conduct hands-on procedures using holograms or digital avatars. With this technology, it would be more convenient for patients to consult with their doctors, and would also cut down the time they would need to take to make a trip to the doctor's office. The retail industry also sees a boost with the development of 5G. E-commerce boomed the past few years with online stores popping up all over the web. The time during the coronavirus pandemic in particular saw a large rise in the amount of purchases conducted over the internet. With 5G, retailers could even launch virtual dressing rooms to support their online stores. Buildings and other forms of infrastructure could also be equipped with 5G technology to turn them into smart buildings. The controls to the building would be automated and centralized, basically giving the building the ability to do the upkeep on itself. It would cut down the need for manpower, and people would be able to focus on other things rather than making sure the building is running smoothly. This would need a lot of processing power, and that's where 5G would come in. Another industry with high potential is transportation. With developers and inventors scrambling to create alternative modes of transportation, 5G could speed up the process and assist in creating vehicles that are not only super fast, but are also super efficient. One of the proposed alternative modes of transport is Hyperloop, which will be able to drastically cut down travel time. Self-driving vehicles are also already being developed, and in order for them to be able to operate better, they would need to be able to communicate with other vehicles. 5G would be able to help them connect with one another. With all these new developments in technology, I wouldn't be surprised to see society progressing so much faster than what we have been used to. The coronavirus pandemic has shown us the benefits of having everything digitalized and automated, and has certainly been a great help during the entirety of the pandemic. We have been able to communicate with loved ones and even conduct a lot of our purchases online. 5G will help be able to make the whole experience more user-friendly, especially in a world where eventually everything will be digital. What are your thoughts on 5G and what it can do? Are we ready to enter an era where everything can be accessed with just a press of a button? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. I will also be responding to all of you who comment within the first hour. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out my other video called Hyperloop, the future of transportation, to get a glimpse into how transportation would be like within the next decade or so. Since we're on the topic of futuristic tech, Hyperloop is one of those new modes of transportation that inventors and engineers are so keen on launching and developing. 5G may be able to speed up this process. Watch Hyperloop, the future of transportation, to find out what I'm talking about. Stay tuned, stay educated.